Are we out of power? Holy crap. Alright. So, we'll, since we're in the middle of all this and we have no power at the moment, let's just stop that. We are going to, we're going power stealing. We're going to Yuppie's base here. She's got a pretty large company on the server. It's got, I don't know, way too many people. Here's their capacitor bank, which I'm probably going to beat the crap out of them for having it set up like this. I'm going to have to check the lag meters on this. But for now, we won't say anything because we are actually going to steal some energy from them. Alright. I won't tell if you won't. Ideally, I'm going to be using the glass, the turbine glass, for the majority of this. This is just primarily for the floor and ceiling of this turbine reactor. And we're going to want this, we're going to want 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks high. 2, 3, 4. Just trying to visualize this in my head. So this will be blade 1, rotor, blade 2. Alright, so it actually needs to be there. Okay. So let's actually, we have plenty of supplies. It's just a matter of it cooking it all. So we'll just work with that for now. Alright, and so then we need to fill the rest of this with turbine glass. I will wind up having to break some of this glass to actually put in the different components, but I always like to completely create the multi-block first before I start modifying it, just to make sure I don't miss anything. Fuse quartz now. Believe it or not, next step after I've got my power system sorted out is actually finishing up all the automation stuff. I do have a fair amount already done, but it's still basic stuff, you know, just like ore processing and smelting some of the more complicated components like AE components and things like that. So the next stage will actually be vastly expanding this, so I never have to do any of this manual stuff again, and I always have a decent surplus of items in my base. Because waiting for things like the alloy smelter to work is just excruciating. Well, we got a little bit more glass. We'll work on that while we wait for the fuse quartz to do its thing. I'm gonna wait for this to smelt the full stack of fuse quartz, and then we'll be back. Alright, so we've got at least one stack of fuse quartz now, and I've got more going on. So hopefully this will get us back en route. Believe it or not, this is the easy part of the turbine setup. It's really not that bad. It's just a lot of materials that take a while to get built out, and I just vastly underestimated exactly what I was going to need. I have the supplies, it's just a matter of waiting for the machines to do their thing. Alright, we're getting much closer now. I'm actually going to need some more housings. I missed that little row up there. Alright. And I'm just actually, just to speed things up, actually, why am I putting that there? Put our power tap here. I don't need a reactor one, I need a turbine one. There we go. One probably won't be enough for the amount of power that I need, simply because the cables that I use have a finite amount of power that they can transfer at once. But we'll just, I've only got the one built for now, so we'll just work with that. Turbine controller. We'll toss here. I'm having second thoughts again. Let's actually leave it over in this area. Try to keep everything synced up. Okay, and then a fluid port, that's going to go over here. And I'm not sure if this will be for, I actually think I'm going to need a second one. Might might actually need a second coolant port too. So I believe the coolant port is also what's used to output the steam. So let's actually just get that while we're at it. So we have steel. Why is it not? Oh, it's looking for Tinker's Construct steel. That's a recipe drip on my part. It'll still work, it's just if there's nothing in the ME inventory at the time, it doesn't properly use the ore dictionary to define the alternative steel or other metals, so that's not a big deal. Okay, so we'll put our coolant port here. Of course, I would not line those up, would I? Alright, that's attempt number 2. Okay, reactor glass there. That's back looking proper, okay. Then here, we need the turbine rotor, or the rotor bearing, I should say. And this is used for the basis point for the large turbine that'll be active, so we'll toss that across. I'm assuming blue is input, red is output, so let's reverse these. Now when I say reverse, machine is too large, machine at most. Are you kidding me? So, alright, so at most it can be 16 blocks long. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I'm one block off. Can you believe that? Okay. So now I wonder how wide you can actually make these things. Okay, so there we go. Alright. I still don't have glass over here. Wow. I thought I was nearly done, and I missed an entire half of the reactor. Well, more should be getting crafted. It shouldn't be too bad. So, alright, so what we'll do is now we need a rotor shaft, and this is not going to be enough. I'm going to need to make more because it needs to extend the full length of this reactor here. Right, and that definitely means I'm going to need way more blades. Probably need even more than that, but we'll just do this to start. Let's actually go ahead and get the rest of the reactor glass. It should hopefully be our turbine glass. You're still waiting on fused quartz. Okay, we're not going to need that much to finish this off. I mean, at the end of the day, it's probably still cheaper using the reactor glass compared to the housing. I haven't really done the math, but I mean, you can't have a turbine if you can't actually see the thing in motion. It's just a waste then at that point. So we'll throw this in. Alright, so I overestimated by 2. That's fine. That's just me not paying attention. And now we need blades. Now you can put up to 4 blades per axle because they have to connect to the shaft. So we can... Doesn't really matter how you do this. And if you just, if you want it just to look fancier, you can do something like this so it's got like that spiral effect going. There you go. I am going to need more blades. I'll probably have to max most of this out. I'll show you guys how to do the calculation shortly. Now all I'm missing is the rest of the glass. I will need another fluid tank. Let's but we'll do that after we're sure this part is at least working. Glass cannot be part of the used as part of a turbine's frame. Where am I using it as part of the frame? Oh, up here. So one thing I do like about this mod is that it does kind of tell you what the problems are. So at least when you're looking at it and you're like, it's not working, it at least gives you some sort of hint as to what you're doing. Okay, block is not valid for the interior. Should be nothing in there that's wrong. It might just be getting upset because I haven't actually finished the thing, so it might be complaining about the fact there's air blocks there. So we're getting closer to being done. I'm just glad I have actually a fair amount of nether quartz. It's actually a running joke. People are always thinking that I'm trolling them on the server, and then I'm always responding with the fact that I'm actually farming nether quartz, and I usually am. Just no one ever believes me. It's just that because that's always my, no, I'm not bugging you, this is what I'm doing. It's just now it's become a running commentary that I must always be farming nether quartz. It's a good thing I did too, otherwise this turbine would not be getting done. At least not today. Although to improve my nether quartz production, I do have quantum bees, as you've probably seen in my previous episodes, but I haven't maximized them at all. I mean, I've got one set of bees running and it's not even properly automated to take stuff out. This is actually probably full. It is. So it's not even producing more combs for me at this point. So my bee stuff is still a long way to go to getting this as efficient as I want. But at least it does produce some quartz for me when I'm paying enough attention to it. Oh, and while we wait for the fused quartz to do its thing, what am I doing? Alright. I am actually going to need Electrum as well. which is a mix of silver and gold. The end of the turbine needs to have some sort of energy producing coil around it, and I'll just show you how that works. And you can use actually a fair number of different metals. Different ones actually produce different results. Electrum kind of is in the middle range as far as you know, how well it works. Gold, silver. It's certainly not the best. Really, the best to use, if I remember correctly, is Inderium if you're using thermal expansion. But you can get away with a lot of other things too. There is, I'll provide a link in the description that gives you the current, you know, ratings of different metals and stuff like that, so you can kind of see what you have to work with and build out from there. So this is not going to be the absolute most efficient reactor. It'll still be way better than what I'm currently using, but I can of course upgrade it later on. So we're gonna need screw math. We'll just make 30 of these. That should be enough. So that's working fine. Still producing fuse core. It's insanely slowly, but that'll be another one of those things that like with what I did with the machines over here for steel, is I'll have an alloy smelter dedicated to making fused quartz and make sure I have at least a few hundred available in inventory at all times and have to make more if I don't. I don't think this is going to be enough, but let's see. No, it's not. So the coil is actually going to be a multi-block around the rotor here, and that's, I can't actually have these blades here because I'm actually going to make it 2 blocks wide. I don't know the exact, you can technically do the wrapping further down the turbine. I don't know where the efficiency drop off is, but I'm going to do it 2 blocks. Just, I'm assuming it's going to be better than 1 and worse than 3, but I don't know. Well, I think a lot of it may have to do is just ensuring you have enough blades working in your rotor. Electrum. So we'll actually, yeah, I'm an idiot. I need way more than that. Because 30 electrum, I need actual blocks, and I want to say 9 blocks per each of the segments, so I need 18-ish blocks. So I'm nowhere close to actually having what I need. Okay, let's actually make some more. That's at least enough to do 1 coil, so I can at least show you how this will look. too, just so then I don't have to fight with it. Okay, and then it wraps around like this. Alright, so that's one coil. I say I'm going to need 18 blocks. I think it's going to be less than that. Might be lit. Yeah, because I think it's actually 16. But either way, it doesn't matter. I'll use all this electrum at some point. I have plenty of gold and silver, so I'm not hurting doing this. Glass. Will that be enough? I guess we'll see. Doesn't look like it's going to be. I need 2, 4, 6 more. I will make 10. Because if it's one thing I have an abundance of, it's fused quartz, right? Graphite, and I gotta double check it. I believe that's just from smelting coal. Oh, come on. Yes, just smelting coal. Alright, so I still gotta figure out how to do the steam pumping. So this actually can stay as is. What this should do is, in theory, it will actually pump some water back out. You know, once it's been used back into the reactor, so I'll need less from the reservoir. Although that's unlimited, we do know there's going to be a lot that's going to be required, so every little bit of return we can get helps. Now I've just got to figure out how to pump the steam in. Unfortunately, the tutorial that shows you how to do this, the guy uses a creative block for the steam, which doesn't really help me in this situation. So this is the part where I'm going to be screwing around trying to figure out how to make this work. Like, that's what they use, the turbine creative steam generator. So I am assuming, I'm wondering if I could just pump it into the rotor bearing, or if it gets piped in some other way, or if this is a graphical glitch. Let's see what happens if I take that off. And there is no way to change it. There might be a particular setting for it in the controller. It's still not active. I know. Did I miss a block in there? I did miss a block in there. Okay. So all this should be fine as is. I just need to finish up that glass, and then hopefully we have the reactor, and then we'll figure it out from there. time I'm done this, we will both be an expert on making these things. Both being you and me, of course. Alright, it doesn't look like the block changed. Oh, no, it did. We got a red panel. Hooray! Okay. Somehow we have steam in here. Maybe it did transfer over. And now it's blue there. I don't know what happened. Okay. We'll just reconnect those. That's our output. So it is pushing steam out. Okay. Well, let's just turn this on and see what happens. Now, the rotors do take time to power up. I do know that. We do have some level of an energy buffer running. The max flow actually needs to be changed. And we're missing... What the hell is this? Intake fluid. Does it need water as well? No. No, because this is the output, so we know we're having a thing of that. It's not. Or am I out? Oh yeah, okay. So that, why is it not pumping out? Okay. Maybe there's an actual steam port or something like that for these. Casing, controller, control rod, coolant, red net, access, power tab. I'm not seeing anything off it. Well, what's this? No, those are creative ports. I don't want to use those. I feel like it's got to go out in the coolant port. Maybe I'm just screwing it up somehow. The water to steam amount isn't changing. As if we just turn it on. I don't think it's gonna add more into this. Maybe I need to actively specify that I want the stuff going in there, or it's just this isn't used for the steam. What about into the rotor bearing? It doesn't connect. All right. That's our next thing to try. How about just directly in? No, that doesn't work either. I feel like it's got to use the fluid port. It doesn't make sense that it wouldn't. I know we need to turn this down a little bit. Oh, that's set to an input. Let's turn that to an output and see how that works. Come on. Work, damn you. Oh, that's why it wasn't switching. It doesn't like the wrench. Okay. Well, that's good to know for the future. Activate. There's some steam in there. There just isn't a lot. This doesn't make a lot of sense. Intake fluid tank. Alright, so our output though is maxed. Vent overflow. Exhaust. Alright, let's add another fluid port to the reactor. Are we out of power? Holy crap. Alright. So, well, since we're in the middle of all this and we have no power at the moment, let's just stop that. We are going to, we're going power stealing. We're going to Yuppie's base here. She's got a pretty large company on the server. It's got, I don't know, way too many people. Here's their capacitor bank, which I'm probably going to beat the crap out of them for having it set up like this. I'm going to have to check the lag meters on this. But for now, we won't say anything because we are actually going to steal some energy from them. Alright. I won't tell if you won't. Okay, and we'll pop this back to the cable. Alright. So we'll leave that as is. So we need another fluid from the reactor. Fluid port. We are going to put it along the back here. And we are going to connect this to the water intake over here. So then in theory, actually I'm wondering now if I need to force it to exhaust. No, closed, ventral exhaust. Why are you not working? Although oddly enough it is producing some energy. I don't need water in there, do I? I don't think I do. Let me just double check that and I'll be right back. Okay. I was just double checking. I think I'm just an idiot. Blue is actually for output, red is for input. At least on these ones. This one, it's the reverse, and that's why I got confused. But yeah, just looking at the arrows, I can see the difference. So, let's see what happens now. There we go, I got full steam and full thing. Okay, let's try this now, see how this works. Look at that, we're actually generating power. I'm freaking shocked. We're actually going to be out of steam on this side, so let's get this operational. The core and the casing are still really hot. I'm going to have to look into seeing why this is going as crazy as it is.